Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jack Long, the Mad Scientist, and on today's adventure into Edgebanders, we're going to be discussing a Biesse 1300 series with the single IT03 model in-trim flying in-trim cutter. The customer states that when they make adjustments to the machine that it does not stay true, and we're going to go in and look for any kind of mechanical wear that's in the machine, any kind of adjustments that can be done to make this a little bit more consistent. Then we're going to set up a strategy for the repair of the machine. All right, so with that being said, let's jump into it. All right, project of the day. Customer states when we are running the end trimmers that the end trim is randomly long, randomly short, uncontrollable. They make an adjustment and it's always wrong. Turn that off. Right now we can see it here. It's kind of hard to do it where you can see. So what happens is this trimmer, right now the air is off on the machine, so I expect some movement this way, but the entire motor is loose. So up here in this joint, there is a joint up here. Let me find the other flashlight that's not quite so bright. Up here. There's a pivot point here on this. And when you move the motor, you're shaking the motor because this is loose. So I don't know inside in here if the shaft that's in there has failed and worn, or if the bearings have worn, or what component is not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, disassemble it, and take a look and see what unit is not correct. This is not my favorite in-trim station. I think it's overly complicated given what it is that it's doing, and I think they could have done a better job when they designed it. Not sure why they did it. Alright, so I gathered up some wrenches here. As I was saying, this is not my favorite station. It's very, very busy when it's doing its job. So what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble this and drop this motor down. Just getting everything prepared so that when I pull the shaft out, everything is ready to go. If I blind you somewhere through the middle of this, I apologize. It's difficult to get the wrenches in here and have the camera where you guys can see all at the same time. Get in there. Let me get a shot real quick what it is that we're taking loose. You can see that it's a back in here. Sorry about the flicker of the screen. See where that Allen wrench is coming down. There's a set of jam bolts that's in there. Set screws. Kind of a common Italian thing where they will, can't get a jam nut on it, they will use a set screw to jam the nut tight so that the threads can't back loose. And let's get the pliers on this because it's just one of those spots. Get both hands on this. Alright. Now if we've done everything right, this should come off the bottom. just like that. All right. All right, so I've got this open now. Shaft is out, and I'm pretty confident my problem is in these bearings in here. They're not loose. They're not loose in this housing. They're not showing wear on the shaft. The shaft is in pretty good shape. There is a little line around this right here. Really hard to see this. Let me get this out here someplace in the light. There we go. Now we can see this shaft. I don't see any blemishes in this shaft here. I don't see any problems in this. I looked at the cap. We pulled the cap loose. This inside here. I don't see any problems in that. The way that it was wobbling around and the movement that I've got when I put my hand inside here, I have movement in that upper bearing. So I think we got a bearing problem. All right, so met with the customer, kind of updated him where we were at. I think that the wobble we have in this is bearing related, not shaft or housing. So what we're going to try to do is to look at the side of the bearings inside, if we can see them. That's the trick. It's a mighty big if. Let's see if we can get a better shot down in here. It's kind of hard to do this and put the camera where you need to be able to see. You can see that back up in there. Oh, we might get lucky. Alright, so it's on the 9 o'clock position, so let's get this a little bit more wiped out. Let's see if we can take a picture of it. Alright, so in case you're unaware of what we're doing, for some reason, if you don't know how bearings work, they all go by a universal series of numbers. Those numbers are usually written on the side of the seals. Seals, shield, depends on what it's got in it. Could be an open bearing. The problem I have right now is trying to get past the grease. I can make out the last two numbers, but I can't make out the first two. Oh, knocked off my tool. 6005. 6005. All right, so let me cross-reference those numbers, make sure those look correct. I'm going to check them against one of the big box suppliers, McMaster-Carr, Applied Industrial, one of the bearing houses. Check the numbers to make sure that the numbers that's in here versus what my shaft diameter, just to look at the dimensions and see if they look close. If so, then I'll pass that on to the customer and go from there. All right, so we met with the powers to be, and the current plan So I'm going to put the machine back together as it sets. I'm going to rehang this motor and rehang the motor, get everything back so the machine can run in the state that it was in, knowing that it's not as good as it could be. And then we're going to order the bearings. And when they come in, we'll make arrangements to get them put back in. So, that's where we're at. You see, if you can see what I'm doing here, I don't know if you can or not, probably not. Get this motor up under here. Make sure that that's there. Hoses are out of the way. Oh, come on. Clearly, I need another hand. There we go. Tell you what, since this is so easy to service, I am going to back these jam screws out, see if we get an extra tension on it. We might get lucky. I think we will. We'll try it. Nice. Knock my light out. Well, that's promising. Promising, but still not correct. Alright, sorry about that delay. I knocked my wrench off. Alright, so that's tight. Yeah, we still got a bearing problem. So I'm comfortable that we need some bearings. Do-de-do-de-do. Just back up in here. Just bought a new pair of channel locks. This is the sorriest excuse for a set of channel locks I've ever seen in my life. So any of you guys work at O'Reilly's, these power force, power torque, auto adjust, throw them away. This is the part I was having trouble with before. This lined up, get this lined up. You know, they design these things and they look great on paper. I don't think a single one of these engineers has ever gone out into the field to do this work. Come on, stupid. Absolutely. This is why I don't go back to Italy. They do not want me talking with their engineers. Something about them crying. One thing I have noticed about this, there's a lot of loose bolts. That one was tight. Knock down my wrench. Get some Loctite. And click. Right. Get in there slowly but surely. This bolt that I changed here had the back loose. It's for the depth of cut as it cycles. Somebody has already been in here servicing this because they'd already marked the airlines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put them back the way they were. I'll get back up in here on this shaft. And now let's tighten our jam bolts down. Fortunately, I can't see where I'm at with both eyes, so my depth perception is off a little bit. It makes it kind of hard getting into that set screw. Alright, here we go. Everything's back together. Make sure the cameras are out. Stop it there. Order some parts. Alright, so that's what we found in the machine, was that the bearings in the housing had some wear in it. So we've ordered some parts. The customer ordered some parts from a third party, and we're going to have those parts brought into us. As soon as we get them in, then we're going to strategize with the customer and figure out a way that we can get into the machine within their production schedule without potentially causing them to lose production. Yes, the machine is not exactly correct as it sits right now, but it is running as well as it was. So once we get the parts in, then we'll be able to take it out of production, do the repairs, put it back in production, and get this resolved. So, as always, guys, if this is interesting to you, please like, subscribe, comment, usual things down at the bottom, and join us again for the next part where we're going to actually go in and disassemble the machine and do the repairs. Hope to see you next time. Have a great day, be safe, and as always, let's go make a million.